Hi everyone and welcome to an episode of Jabba in the Hut. How you doing? Yes, it has been probably from last week since I did a last video. I wanted to maybe talk a wee bit about the AGM and the up and coming match about Motherwell as well. I tried a wee bit of something different during the international break there, and not because the international break wasn't great, it was fantastic. Scotland qualified for Germany, which was a fantastic qualification segment. We're talking about again, talking absolute nonsense, saying words that are just coming out my Mdula Abgangata. Can't even say Mdula Ablangata. That's it. Right, there you go. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about, tried something different last week. I want to talk a little bit about the AGM and obviously, the things that weren't really addressed, the things that could have been addressed, and obviously just a little preview of my opinion of what's going to happen against Motherwell. So basically Celtic had their AGM during the week there, and it was filled with a lot of custodians, people who sit at the big table and the big chairs and make a lot of decisions that us, the common folk, cannot do. That's what it felt like, really. It was mostly about little digs at Rangers as well. I don't understand why we have to keep... I know Rangers are obviously our main rival, and the domestic league is... Obviously, if you don't win the domestic league, then you don't get a chance of getting in any European competition, So you've got to obviously see that as the main competition, obviously. But Celtic fans for the last 10 years or so have been really, really wanting European progress. Not success, European progress. European success would be potentially getting to a European Cup final of some sort. But again, we're going down this route where we buy too late, we're not prepared enough for the players that leave the club, and we're literally just going around leagues just scraping the bottom of the bucket, right? And I'm not saying that about certain players like players that have came in from obviously 2 seasons ago, like Hatate, Kyogo, Maeda. Those players have probably been the bread and butter, but they've had their mistakes and they've had their time to grow. So it's one of those things that you just need to kind of, Celtic aren't going to go and spend loads of money on a striker or a midfielder or even a goalkeeper for that instance. They've tried that. They tried that with Barkas and it didn't work. Which I still don't know why we went for Barkas, to be honest, because he only had a couple of good games in the Champions League. But again, this Celtic board, they seem to always go for a gem, always a diamond in the rough. That's what they call it. So I can understand going to these leagues and getting these players for certain amounts of cheaper money. For me, I think Palmer is going to be a fantastic player for Celtic. I think Yang is going to be a fantastic player for Celtic. I think Matt O'Reilly, as much as I'm thinking, I'd like him to stay for at least to the end of this season, but I've got a funny feeling he's going to get shipped out in January. And also have a funny feeling, if we're not doing anything in Europe, then they're going to get rid of Carter Vickers as well. Because again, this is the way this board thinks. They think about the money that's going into their pockets. They don't think about the money that's going into the fans' pocket. The thing that's getting me right now about this AGM that happened during the week is they are literally not punishing the people from the Green Brigade that started the hassle in Edinburgh at Easter Road. Now I don't understand why there was hassle in Easter Road, to be honest, because, it's Easter Road. Tynecastle, I would understand, but not Easter Road. I mean, come on. The people who are responsible for the aggression towards the police should be getting punished. And I absolutely agree with that, right? And I'm not saying that you just go and ban the Green Brigade. You ban the people that are responsible. That's what you do. You don't ban the whole Green Brigade. And that's exactly what the board have done. But again, that board was filled with people that were just licking their arseholes. that were just going, oh, that nuttiness tastes nice. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've not even got the chance to set foot in that AGM, but it drove me a wee bit crazy a little bit, because we came onto the European situation, and you know, it was like one of those things. It was like, things take time to progress, and I get that, but not fucking 10 years. Not 10 years since we've at least been competitive in a Champions League or a Europa League. I mean, you can go back and say that season that we finished top of the Europa League was a great season, and I'll say that for an instance, until we got fucked off at Copenhagen, because Neil Lennon was like, I'll just play the formation that I want to play. I mean, again, I'm not making Neil Lennon out to be a bastard, alright? He's not. He's a Celtic supporter. He likes Celtic. He got put in that job just like any other Celtic supporting manager would do, right? And that's the thing. Thank God Brendan Rodgers is there. I'll say that now, because he seemed to have a calm head about him and say, look, this is my job, this is what I do. I've got my money, but I'm going to do my job. And basically what he's saying is, if these guys don't up their act, then I'll just fucking go again. Well, I'm not saying that. I think he's set for a wee while at Celtic, at least until, you know, I don't know, Barcelona come call for him or something like that. No, again, the AGM just kind of annoyed me. The European situation came up again, and it was more questions about how we're not investing in players that with quality to basically make sure that we compete better in Europe. And again, the question was faffed away by the man himself, Peter Lawwell. And you know, it was one of the questions. It was like Peter Lawwell just went, "Oh, where have you been? This guy who's not supposed to be involved in anything Celtic related is fucking involved Celtic related." And I know he was successful for that spell of 10 years where he would see gold in a player and fucking sell them on. That's exactly what he is all about. He's about lining his pockets just as much as the fucking rest of them, as his boy who does the recruitment. Now, don't get me wrong, his boy that's done the recruitment has been okay, it's been fine, but we have had a few duds in. You know, like Kobayashi, Kwon, Idaguchi. You know, absolute duds. Couldn't he play a game? Kwon played against Athletic Balboa in a friendly and couldn't even handle it. In a friendly, come on, man. And he's not been seen since. What? That is just a waste of money. It's a waste of feckin' money. And we're not even strengthening the positions that we should be strengthening, which is goalkeeper, midfielder, and we at least need another striker in there. We at least need another striker. O's good, but we need somebody a bit taller and a bit more strength. And hopefully in January this is what we do. This is the point to where we go. So anyway, yeah, Europe was questioned. You know, the fact that Dermot Desmond is a major shareholder and still he doesn't seem to turn up because he's a fucking ghost. He's a fragment of our imagination. You know, people say, the board was saying, oh, Dermot Desmond loved this club. Alright, well, where the fuck is he? Where is he? He's nowhere. He's absolutely nowhere to be fucking seen. And this, I'm sorry for swearing so much, this is why I don't do these things for kids. Alright? These are for the adults. The adults watch this so they can swear and so you can agree with me or disagree with me. That's exactly what this is all about. And as a Celtic supporter, I just want to see my club have something else on their mind apart from scalping Rangers. That's what it seems like. The flyaway comments, the penalty to Rangers. You know what I mean? It just seems like that kind of thinking that this is exactly this is exactly your bread and butter. And don't get me wrong, I love beating Rangers. Love it. It's great. And I'm sure Rangers love beating us. But at the same time, you've got to have a better way of thinking. And I'll be honest, I mean, they made a European Cup final. We haven't. We've not even smelt one. We've not even qualified for the group stages. So why do they think they've got the confidence to sit up there at that board, at that AGM, and say to themselves, we're doing a great job, guys, aren't we? We're great. Here, listen. Here's another £1 million for that transfer for Jota, eh? Brilliant, eh? It's great, isn't it? Aye. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous meeting. There was no point in that AGM. Nothing. It basically just... You could have basically got the measuring stick out and all them to stand up and go, right, how big's yours? That's it. That's all it was. How big's your dick? Shocking. Absolutely shocking AGM. Absolutely shocking. So anyway, that's away. That's gone. I'm glad they all got in a room together and had lots of brandy and lots of cigars and basically celebrated TiVo. That's it, Now moving on to the game against Motherwell. For me, it's at home, so it's going to be a win. It's going to be a home win. I think, my setup would be Hart, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor, and obviously Alistair Johnston. In midfield, I would go with Matt O'Reilly, McGregor, and who else plays there? Who else do we get in? It's got to be Turnbull, isn't it? It's got to be Turnbull. The thing about Turnbull, he might not be dead quick or fast or anything, but he's the Scottish Zidane, and the guy can get a bloody goal for outside that box. And sometimes, if you're going to have Motherwell come to Celtic Park, you're going to get at least 11 men behind the ball. So, at least Turnbull will have a shot outside the box. Every game he's played in, he's scored. And I think that's what I'm trying to say here. He's good. He is a good player. Right? No, okay, we play better with Hatate in the side. I get that, I understand it. But right now, we need to just get these games won. And that's it. I'm not predicting a big score. I'll probably say about maybe 2-0. 2-0 to Celtic. I think it'll be a tight game. I know Celtic won against Aberdeen 6-0, which was glorious, but again, that Aberdeen team, they just... Once the third goal went in, the fourth goal, they just kind of lost it a little bit. You know what I mean? And Celtic played really, really good football. So that's what you've got to say if you've got Matt O'Reilly in the team. So it shouldn't really matter if Turnbull, has a goal or two here and there and then doesn't really move about much. So O'Reilly, McGregor, Turnbull. Boom. Done. Up front, obviously you've got your man Kyogo. You have Yang and Palmer. Done. That's it. That's my team, and that's what I think will happen tomorrow. So that's it. If you've got any comments or anything like that, I've not really got much to say about the players themselves because, I've not really seen them. I've seen McGregor play for Scotland and I've seen Taylor play for Scotland, which, to be honest, somebody needs to have a word with him. One of my friends said that maybe he's just, he kind of plays a left back because at the end of the day he's an inverted left back. So they things are different because they like to play more in the middle, or the middle of the defence kind of area and go into midfield. So at the end of the day, that could be the reason why he didn't really perform well enough for Scotland. But again, this is about Celtic, it's not about Scotland. Scotland did great. Come on, the Tartan Army, and that's basically it. Let's win the European Championships, eh? Come on, let's do it. Come on, Scotland. Anyway, pleasure talking to you all, as always. I'm glad I'm back. Feeling a bit better as well. And remember, the main thing is doing something means everything. So if you're doing something, like say, if you're having a bad time in the morning, like when you wake up and there's just too many fucking thoughts coming at your head, at your brain, sometimes you just got to go up, put your boxers on, your skin tight boxers if you've got them, put your trainers on, put your socks on, get your jeans on, get your t-shirt on, get your hoodie on, get your thermals on, and just go for a fucking walk. Because sometimes that's what you need to do, Or just, go to the gym, go for a cycle, fucking phone your mate and tell him, how you doing? Are you having a wank? That kind of thing. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying that because, you know, we don't do that. You know, alright. Anyway, guys, pleasure talking to you again. Thanks for tuning in. And, you know, I'll be maybe watching the wrestling this weekend because I've been invited to watch wrestling. So I'm going to go in and see the good wife and see if she'll let me watch the wrestling this weekend. Yay! Anyway, good to chat with you. See you later. Bye.